Hello and welcome to your Week 1 assignment directions. Let's go ahead and take a look together at the activities. Please select the Online Learning folder from the Schoology course. At that time, scroll down and select Week 1, which you will see is labeled with the dates March 30th through April 3rd. There are 2 activities for this week. There is only one graded assignment for this week. Let's look at both of those together so that you have a better understanding. Activity 1 for the week. You'll notice some directions for you. Watch the video on the historical context of the play. Open the assignment on the Google Slideshow. Create a T-chart in your notebook or edit the template. Compare the time period the play takes place into today's time. Email your teacher the chart. Make sure the subject line begins with your class period. As we prepare to read on Inspector Calls together, it's important that you really have a good understanding of the background, history, and context of the play. This week's activities will help prepare you for that. You will click that link, which takes you to a video. This video outlines the historical context and background of the play and Inspector Calls. When you click the next link, it will take you to a Google Slideshow. Let's take a look at the Google Slideshow together. You'll see a title page for an Inspector Calls historical background. What I need you to understand today is that it deeply outlines the split between the upper and the working class in Britain in the early 1900s. In the early part of the 20th century, many believed that social classes were fixed, that if you were born poor, you died poor, or that if you were born rich, then you died rich. When this play was written in the 1940s, that ideology, that belief was in fact changing. This play takes the opportunity to really challenge and criticize the belief that the upper class held about the poorer working class. Your first activity that will be graded is for you to click this link in this slideshow. This is where you watch the historical context video, and then identify 2 working class conditions that were true in 1912 and 2 understandings of women's roles during 1912. Please take a moment, if you do not already have the context to do so, to look up current working class conditions in contemporary times. You will also need to have an understanding of women's roles at this time. Please document those. You may draw this T-chart in your notebook. You may also sample the template in Schoology. When you finish the T-chart, you'll need to open to a blank page in your notebook or into the template. There's a free right here. Explain how our society has changed since the play takes place in the early 1900s. Also tell me about how have the conditions for the working class improved or changed? How have conditions and treatment for women improved or changed? Be able to compare the historical context of 1912, the Industrial Revolution, with our contemporary times. If you would prefer to do Activity 1 in a template electronically versus doing it in your notebook, I created a Week 1 assignment template here. It will automatically prompt you. Let's take one more step. It will automatically prompt you to make your own copy of this document. You definitely need to do this. Once you've made your own copy of that document, you can title it with your first and last name and our class period, That way I will know who is sending this to me if you are choosing to use the template to complete our activities for this week. Let's go ahead and take a look at Activity 2 for this week. This should also only take you somewhere between 30 and 45 minutes. When we select this activity, we see that it gives us some directions. We're going to open a Google slideshow. You're going to read the opening stage directions of the play. This is where all of our cast of characters are introduced. You're going to want to read these stage directions carefully. You may also want to listen to the audio I provided for the opening stage directions to have a better understanding of these characters. Once you've clicked on the link to access the slideshow for activity number 2, let's take a look. We're going to read the opening stage directions for you on the slideshow here. You may also want to access the audio I've provided for you, which reads the stage directions to you. You will get a better understanding of what our characters look like and what their personalities are like before we get into reading the play. Once you have read the stage directions, I want you to create a family tree. You can do this one of several ways. You may prefer to use the week 1 assignment template that I provided for you in Schoology, or you may prefer to do this in your notebook. If you are doing this in your notebook, please be as neat and precise as possible. You will need to label the tree with the characters' names: Arthur Burling, Sybil Burling, Sheila Burling, Eric Burling, and Gerald Croft. Under each character's name, please write a detail which we know means a quote from the text from the opening stage directions to describe them. Below that, I would like you to think about one modern or contemporary actor or actress who you believe could potentially play them while on stage. You'll know which actor or actress to use because they should probably physically mimic the descriptions that you see in those opening stage directions. Please write those names under the actor or actress who you believe could play this character from the play. You're going to want to email this family tree either as an attached Google document or as a picture if you're going to attach it to an email. This is the week 1 assignment template that I created for you in Schoology. Remember, when you click on it, it will prompt you to make a copy. Please make a copy with your first and last name and the class period document with me. Let's take a closer look. Activity 1 required you to watch the historical background video. This is where you can use your own word processor to document 2 facts about the working class you understood from the historical video, and 2 facts about women's rights that you understood from the video. On the right-hand side of this T-chart, you are able to list 2 current working class conditions in 2020 and 2 current or contemporary understanding of women's rights so that you can see the historical versus our current day. The T-chart is your assignment that will be graded for this week. An additional enrichment activity is the Activity 1 free write. Explain how our society has changed since the play takes place in the early 1900s. How have the conditions for the working class improved or changed? How have the conditions treatment for women improved or changed? If I scroll further, you see Activity 2, the Burling family tree. This is where I created a space for you for Mr. Arthur Burling, Mrs. Sybil Burling, Mr. Eric Burling, Ms. Sheila Burling, and Mr. Gerald Croft. For each actor, after you have read the stage directions, please provide a detail or a quote from the opening stage directions which describes them. Please also include information about some kind of modern-day actor or actress who could potentially play this character based off of your understanding of the character's physical description from the opening stage directions. Let's recap the instructions for this week's assignment, just in case you have any questions. Open the Distance Learning folder. Select Week 1, 3:30 through 4:3. Activity 1. Click the link to watch the historical context video for the play at Inspector Calls. Either by using the template that I provided for you or by doing it in your notebook, create a T-chart that resembles the one in the slideshow so that you may demonstrate your understanding of the working class conditions and women's rights in 1912 versus today. Once you've completed the T-chart, you may use either the provided template or your notebook to complete the free write. Once you've completed that, open Activity 2. Click the link for slideshow. Read the opening stage directions for the play so that you may read the physical descriptions of each character. You may want to listen to the audio that I provide for you while reading the opening stage directions. Either by using the template I provide for you or in your notebook, please create a family tree for the Burling family. Please place each character on the tree. Provide a detail, which will be a quote from the opening stage directions regarding each character's physical description for each character. Once you've completed the detail, please provide one modern-day actor or actress who you believe could potentially play that character. Please share the template or your T-chart with me by Thursday at 11:59. The T-chart is our graded activity for this week. I would love for you to also participate in the other enrichment activities so that when we begin reading the play, you have a good understanding of both the background and the descriptions of the characters.